Okay, so solving these puzzles is actually pretty simple. This isn't the Monkey Madness puzzle, but it's still pretty similar. So on the right side, you can see the solution. So everything's just in one, two, three order. While on the left side, it's scrambled. So the right side is what we're gonna try to emulate on the left side. So, and that's similar to how the Monkey Madness puzzle is. You should get the solution, and then you can compare the solution to what you're actually working on. And how we're going to do this is we're going to start in the top. So these first five at the top is what we're going to solve. And then after that, you're going to go down to the next five and then the next five. And then the last 10 is what a lot of people seem to have trouble on. But first, I'll show you how to solve the first five. And then usually people have trouble doing like the last one or two when they do the first roll. So first you want to move. So I'm going to start off with the one first. So I'm just going to get this one right here to where it should be right here. So the sliding puzzle is simple. You just move the blocks out of the way to get the whatever block you want to get to where you need it to be. So that's how you get the one right there. Just keep on moving the other blocks out of the way. Next is the two. So we're just going to move the blocks out of the way for the two. So the first three are pretty simple. You're just going to move everything out of the way. And you don't really have to care about what blocks you move. Just the only thing you're focusing on is just the certain block that you're on. So for this one, it would just be the three. So forget about everything else. Now for the last two, which is the 4 and the 5, this is a little more tricky. So what I want to do is I want to move this 4 block, which is actually right here, and I want to move it to where the 5 should be, right here in the corner. So to do that, I'm just going to move these blocks out of the way. Now the 4 is in the 5 position. Now you want to move this 5 block right underneath that 4 block. So now the 5 is beneath the 4. And then you're just going to move these other blocks out of the way, and you move this out of the way. Then you can move the 4 into position and move the 5 into position. So that's how you do a row of 5. And you repeat that for the next 2 rows. So I'm just going to do this real quick. Just going to get the 6 right there. And I'm going to move the 7. And then the 8. And again, the 9 should be where the 10 is, and the 10 should be right beneath that. And luckily it's already like that. So that's how you move into position. Next is the 11, which is already there. And then the 12 and 13. And again, the 14 should be in the 15 position, and the 15 should be right beneath that. So there's the 14, and then the 15 should be right beneath the 14. And then just move that block out of the way so there's a space right here. And again, now these last 10 is what a lot of people seem to have trouble on, and it's actually pretty simple. So what I like to do is I like to get these 2 right here done. And so this is a 16 and this is 21. And what I want to do is I want to move this 21 right here, right next to the 16, to the left of the 16. So the 16 is right here and the 21 should be right next to it. And just forget about every other block. Just focus on the 16 and 21. So now I have the 16 and the 21 right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these blocks out, and I'm going to go in a circular pattern. And just like that, those 2 blocks are solved. Now you don't have to focus on these 2 anymore. So now you're just on these last 8. And you're going to do a similar kind of thing. You're going to look and see that 17 is above 22. So I want to move the 22 to be on the left of the 17. So right now I can't move it. It doesn't work when they're next to each other right here. So I need to kind of move these blocks out of the way. I need to get the 22 far away from the 17 so I can start shifting them into position. All right, so like that, I got the 22 next to the 17, and I'm just gonna move these blocks out of the way and shift these over to the left. And then now that I move this out the way, the 22 can go down and the 17 can go above it. So now these four are solved, and then you just focus on these last five. And it's the same thing. You're just gonna get the 23 right here next to the 18. So move the 23 away from, see, they're already next to each other, so you want to move the 23 away from the 18. So move it right there, and then move the 18. And then now the 23 is next to the 18, so just start shifting these away. Move the 23 down and the 18 there, and now these six are finished. So now it's just the last three, and once you solve, so now that you have everything else done, the last three pretty much automatically solve themselves. And that's how you do the sliding puzzle. So just do that on the Monkey Madness sliding puzzle. And just be aware that on the Monkey Madness puzzle, there's some blocks that look very similar to other blocks. So make sure you don't confuse the two, because if you confuse the two, then it will just ruin everything. So if you thought that you solved the puzzle, but it still wasn't working, then you probably confused two of the blocks. And I think there's actually two pairs of blocks that actually look the same, like a cloud piece and like another part of the wing or something that look very similar. So don't confuse those two. And that's pretty much how you do it. So you can save yourself 250K.